guys, it's Ruthie and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to start watercolor painting. I have done this for a little while now and I really love it, and I think it's something you guys will really like too. It is super easy. It can be expensive, but it can be also inexpensive depending on you. So to go ahead and get started, I'm going to talk about the paint. I have this box, just like a regular box, that I have with my paint. I got this online. So here's all the paints that I have. The brands I have are Van Gogh and Grumbacher. Hopefully I'm saying that, Grumbacher Academy. I really like these brands. They are pretty, they're not the most expensive and they're not the cheapest. So they're kind of low. I would say they're pretty low. I really like these brands. This is a 20 mil tube, and this is a 7, I think. I don't know if it says, but I think this was a 7. I don't remember how much this one was, but I think it was a 7 mil. Yeah, 7.5 mil. Okay. So I really like these two brands. I think I have about maybe close to 10 paints, I think. So yeah, I definitely want to expand on my collection and all of that, but these paints I really do like and really recommend. Now there are two types of paints that you can get. You can get them in like little pans, like your already preset colors and all that, or you can get them in the tubes like this. Depending on your taste, you can do either or. I personally like the tubes, but depending on you guys, you can choose whatever. I also keep in this box a pair of pliers. Now you guys might be wondering, why on earth are you putting a pair of pliers in with your paints? Well, I'm not that good at opening my paint tubes or closing them without getting any paint on the thing. So mine usually have a little bit of paint on the ends. So I have to hold it just right so I can get it out. So here you can see it's kind of messy. So that's just something also to keep in mind. And you want to try and do it as secure as possible because you don't want your paints to dry out. So I think that is about it on the paints, but I also will talk about some of my palettes and how I set up my palette and all of that next. Okay, so here is my main palette that I use, and this one I got recently at Hobby Lobby, and I will talk about that one in just a second. So this one was also from Hobby Lobby. It is pretty inexpensive, and I really like it. It comes with 20 little pans there, and it opens just like this. So you have all of your paints. I think I'm out of frame. Yep. So as you can see, I have filled this up. I have really used this. I think I got it this spring, I think, and it's lasted a good while. I really like it. It is plastic, so the watercolors do tend to bead at times. So yeah, that's the only thing I don't really like about this, but I definitely want to get some more palettes and all that and try them out. I do want to try out using like the little pans and see how well that works for me. And this cost only a couple dollars at Hobby Lobby, so that was really nice. This one is also from Hobby Lobby. It is more expensive. I think it was about $6. And it is not plastic but porcelain, so it's like a clay. I really like this one, and it has 7 pans, and it's the flower palette. I have wanted this one for a while, and I really like it. This is where your watercolor won't bleed as much, and why do I keep saying bleed? It's bead. Oh my goodness. So yeah, this one is super nice for mixing colors. I really love it, and it is super easy to clean. And just take a little wipe and it comes off super nice. These don't clean as easy, so that's the only thing about this one as well. So yeah, these, you can't really go wrong with a palette. You have to just kind of like experiment to kind of see what kind of a palette you would like. So yeah, so now I think I'm gonna go ahead and move on and talk about some paper. Okay, so for your paper, this can be kind of daunting whenever you're going out for your first time, when you're doing watercolor, like, oh my gosh, what kind of a paper am I going to get? What do I need? This also depends on you. It just involves a lot of experimenting. This one is one of my favorites. I love this. It's more of a notebook, and I really, really like it. It is the Strathmore watercolor paper and cold press, and it is 140 pounds. Whenever it means cold press, that's also about the texture and all of that. This one has a little bit more of a tooth in it, so you can see there if it just has a little bit more of a tooth. This one has a lot of tooth in it. It's probably kind of hard to see on camera, but the more tooth you have, the more like texture and all of that. So texture or tooth will mean your texture. So depending on if you want a ton of texture in your paper, and yeah, it's kind of hard to explain when it comes to paper, but you want something pretty durable because you are still dealing with water, and you don't want your paper to buckle or bend or all of that. So this one I did on this paper. This paper is not the greatest. It's definitely more for like experimenting and all of that. It is the Master's Touch watercolor pad, and it's for $2.49. Now, you will find in stores that the lower price than the not good quality that they will be. So lower price, not the best quality. And this is about $4.50, and it's a lot better quality. It still bends and buckles, and all of that, but it does hold up pretty well. So yeah, I really, really like the Strathmore brand. I have not actually tried any other kinds, and I would definitely like to see what other kinds there are. So now I think that's it on paper. So now I'm going to move on to talking about some brushes. Okay, so when it comes to brushes, you can have many different kinds. You have the water brush, which is a little tube that's already filled with water, so your brush is already wet for you, so you don't have to use a cup of water. Then you just have your traditional paint brushes. Now, this is the Master's Touch brand. I actually really like these. I think they're a pretty good quality for the price. They were pretty inexpensive. These were also at Hobby Lobby. This was, I think, a two different packs. I really like this one. The main ones that I use is probably these three. These three I really use a lot. This one I use every now and then, but I mainly use the round and the flat one. You want to get brushes that are for watercolors. You don't want to have them made, you don't want brushes that are meant for acrylics or oils, because they're meant to do something totally different than just your watercolor brushes. You also don't want to get any that are too inexpensive, because some will shed. These do not, but some just regular art brushes will shed, which you do not want little paintbrush hairs all in your painting. So that's also something to consider. If you were to just grab a $1 pack at any local art store, then those probably won't be the best quality, and they're not really just meant for really nice watercolor art. So that is something to consider. Brushes aren't too big of an issue to deal with. You can go really inexpensive with these, but just the better quality brushes, the nicer they will be, if that makes sense. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is just kind of some odds and ends, just kind of wrap up the video. So one thing you also want to have is at least 2 containers for your water. This can be just a regular plastic cup or any kind of jar or anything like that. I just have these 2. These were actually slime containers that I had, and I decided to use these for my watercolors. I really like these, good size, and all of that. I would like to do, I think, more of a jar. sometime and collect some jars and do, and I think that would be really cute. Another thing when it comes to watercolors is your drawing materials. If you will be drawing with that, which I usually do, you want to get some kind of a waterproof pen or any kind of thing like that if you want to do any kind of inking. This is the Micron pens, and they are waterproof, and I really like using those. Another thing is your kneadable eraser. This isn't necessary, but I do really like that, and I do have a video talking about why you need this one. And also your pencil. This you can use just a regular, like a school pencil or whatever, but this is a drawing pencil. It is an HB. 2B also works the best. I think this is what I had in my pencil case, but these I really like. It doesn't really matter the brand or anything like that, so just something to get down a good sketch. Okay, so this is masking fluid, and what it is, it acts as a resist with your paper, so it's a liquid, and this is by Winsor & Newton. I will say it does smell pretty strong. It stinks really bad. That's the one thing I really don't like about it. And what you can do is take a paintbrush, and this, I wouldn't use your regular watercolor paintbrushes for this, just use a cheap paintbrush, and you can paint on any kind of like design or just simple line. So when you paint over it, that will be a white spot on your paper. So yeah, it's kind of hard to explain. Maybe I'll do another video talking about this, but yeah. Another thing is like these little pipettes. These are really handy to have when using watercolors. They can be found pretty inexpensive at any craft stores. And the last thing I want to mention is just any kind of rag. You can use paper towels, but I like using my rag, and I do use paper towels every now and then, but it is nice to have just a regular rag. Okay, so that about wraps this video up. I hope you guys enjoyed it, but before I just end this, I will say really quick, whenever you're buying your paints, these were bought from Cheap Joe's Art Supplies. I will leave a link in the description box below. You can get so much more cheaper. You can also get them on Amazon, but they are regular priced. But I think Cheap Joe's, I really like that website, so I will leave that in the link below, and I will just kind of show you guys any pop-ups on the screen of the websites or Amazon or anywhere you guys can find these things. A lot of them I did get at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Amazon, all those kind of things. I've just collected some things over time. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button, and if you want to see some more watercolor videos, please vote in this poll right here, and I will see you guys Thursday. Bye!